Patrick Brown. Good morning, gentlemen, and thanks for joining us today. So, hey, there's Jason and Steve and Bear. Good morning. Bear, good Lord. Good to see you up this morning from glorious sunny Exeter. I got to say, Bear, I'm a little jealous because it's dribbling out here, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't have to shoot anybody today. No photos, no videos. I'll be in the studio most of the day. Sergeant Major says, "Good morning, baseball fans. Dodgers win longest game in World Series history, 18 innings." Okay. Well, I'm not a baseball guy, so there's the score for you guys if that's something that interests you. Okay, let's talk about the shutdown. We're still shut down, and the government's still shut down, and I'm I'm okay. I'm here for it. It's working out just fine for me. Now, if you're a total government dependent, it may not be going great for you. Uh, may not be the best time in the world for your welfare broodmares because apparently SNAP is set to run out on Saturday. Yo, there's this thing, okay? There's this thing that in retail they call the triple witching weekend, especially in restaurants. And it's the beginning of the year. Well, okay, it's it's usually in March. It's usually around March. And it's when the first round of tax returns goes out at the first of the month, right? So and the first of the month falls on a Friday, right? So what happens? You got a bunch of people who just got a large infusion of cash from their tax returns because, and that's how they understand it. They understand that they got a large infusion of cash. What they don't understand is that that's money that they earned previously that they overpaid, or it's essentially a government subsidy through being a non-contributing taxpayer who's getting back more than they contributed. But the point for this conversation, Patrick says mic check. Okay, let me double check. Good catch, Patrick. Thank you. Oh, okay. There should have been a hiccup and a switch, and we're back. We're back. Okay, so the way that they understand it is they just got a huge infusion of cash, right? $3,000 or $4,000. Huge infusion of cash. Ooh. But they did, right? And at the same time, because this happens every time Friday falls on the first, but right around tax return season is worst. Then you've got everybody getting paid at the same time. Everybody who gets paid monthly, everybody who gets paid bi-monthly, and everybody who gets paid weekly. More often than not, those split up a little bit, right? Your monthly guys get it on the first, your bi-monthly get it on the first and the 15th or something like that, right? Oh, and Paris says two sweetest words in the English language: VAT rebate. Yeah, so he's referring to the value added tax. We don't have that in America. It's even worse than that. But so yeah, that when the first of the month falls on Friday, your government dependents just got their SNAP cards reloaded. They got their welfare benefits reloaded. Your monthly and bi-monthly employees just got their pay for the first of the month. And your weekly employees just got their Friday pay and tomorrow's Saturday, and they're all off work. So when the first falls on a Friday or a Saturday, it's busy. And if you're a restaurant manager and you're not double staffed for that particular Friday evening, you're going to get run over. Right? Anybody who's ever worked in the service industry and food service knows this from firsthand experience. When I was a kid, I managed a few Papa John's stores until I graduated high school, and then I started managing over at a Mellow Mushroom and slinging pizzas. Worked in several restaurants before I got a real, before I graduated high school, I got a real job as an electrician. And yeah, worked on that stuff. And yeah, a Friday night, the witching Friday, was an ass kicker. I remember one in particular. I was working at Papa John's. The phones were ringing off the hook. We were way backed up on orders. This was before people were able to pay over the phone, and I just wiped a board. I just said, you know what? We're going to pretend like we didn't take these orders. We're going to let all these customers be pissed off, and I'm just going to give them a free pizza if they call and complain, because we've hit a critical point where we're failing to serve some customers as we attempt to serve all of them. We're just going to have to blow through this and take the lumps and move on. Right? What we're looking at right now is almost the opposite of that. But the emotional reaction, right? Coming up on, I don't have money, but I need food. Well, this is a predictable result, right? We're seeing these videos on X. If you guys haven't seen them, here, let me pull up a few. I had another thing pulled up, but it doesn't make sense to go to that just yet. I'll get to that in a minute. Oh, by the way, it just almost unrelated. No, not at all unrelated. Yesterday, top Google trends. Y'all are gonna love this. I'll share this with you real quick. Dude. Actually, let's just see if it's still going on. I bet you it's still going on. Yeah, you'll see that light flash and change in my when I do something on the computer. It's a big ass monitor. The main monitor in here is gigantic. Yeah, let's check in real time. Is they there it is, guys. Top trend. Is they, not are they. Is they cutting food stamps? Is they cutting stamps Reddit? Right? And how about this one? Oh, is we. Okay, looks like is we has fallen off here. Is we. There it is. Is we getting food stamps right there at the top? Yeah, understand the way these work. For the boomers out there that I'm about to bitch at in a minute here, the way the algorithm works, when you type in 2, 3, 4 letters and the exact thing that you're looking for pops up here near the top of the suggested field, that means that the world, or in this case, more likely America at large, that means that thousands or millions of people are searching not the same topic or a related topic, a similar field, etc. It means they are searching the exact language that you're typing into the field. That's why the suggestions are effective, because you might have a question that you want to get an answer to, and it's guaranteed somebody else has had that question, right? And you may not even know exactly how you want to phrase the question. My refrigerator stopped working, and this piece right here isn't working correctly. I don't know what the piece is called. You start typing, my refrigerator won't make ice, and you'll get suggestions related to other people who know more about the question asked. So I want you, as not professional linguistic analysts out there, to take, without me giving you any more information than that, what I've just given you, and extrapolate what you may about the demographic reality of the welfare broodmare. I imagine your brains can tick that one over. Real Bullets says the mooch entitlement is off the chain. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. What Bible verse is it? Bible verse, man don't work, he don't eat. Thessalonians, if anyone does not want to work, neither let him eat. It pops up a few times, but I think Thessalonians is the one that's most often quoted. So, the SNAP system is about to go down, and what are we seeing? Oh, Real Bullets is, hey, that's a great username, Tim. That's a great username, Real Bullets. You know, like the kind you put in a 300 Win Mag, Tim. Tim will tell you that's a real damn bullet. So, what are we seeing? What are we seeing out of these guys?
Is enough to last me the entire month of November while I wait for food benefits. But as an EBT mother on a budget of $300 to $400, even when I only had $200, you know what's cheaper than a $3 pack of Little Debbie snacks? A 50-cent can of fucking green beans, okay? You know what's cheaper than 3 packs of soda? A bunch of cans of 50-cent cans of vegetables, okay? You know what's cheaper than the $150 you spent on chips, sugar, soda, all of that shit? Buying a bunch of meat. Because the amount of snacks that you bought are enough to last you 2 weeks, and the amount of meat that I bought is enough to last me the entire month of November while I wait for food benefits to fix themselves. You can stock up on pasta. You can stock up on staples, okay? Look at that.
Okay, you know what? That is not what I was expecting from Nose Ring Chickie here. I will go ahead and say I am pleasantly surprised by how that video went. Based on the pile of titties that she's showing on camera and the nose ring and the bright red hair, I was fully expecting this to be a totally different video. So hey, props to you, Sunshine.
All healthy foods.
I'm gonna have to pen that one over to the side here and go back and leave a comment for her doing the right thing there. How about this one?
Was standing behind me and I was getting ready to pay.
What is it? It's not like they're possibly abusing it or anything, right?
This lady was standing behind me and I was getting ready to pay, and of course I take out my EBT card. Because what else am I going to pay with?
Cash, debit card, credit card. You know, the same thing that people who don't receive EBT pay with.
And then she's like, ma'am, I love your nails. How much did they cost? I'm like, oh, these were like $85.
No nails done here because that's a luxury. And I don't typically splurge on luxuries because I'd rather make sure that everything is provided for my house and my kids. So we do glue-ons around here. $8.99 from Walgreens.
And then once she sees me taking out my card, she starts bitching. She's like, you paid $85 for your nails, but you need EBT to pay for your groceries? I'm like, yes, bitch.
That's the problem right there. If you can afford $80 to $85 to however much money you spend on getting...
You know what? If you've got an EBT card and an $85, you got your nails did. You went and saw a Fonda, got your nails did for $85. You belong in jail because what you're doing is you're committing fraud. Yeah, I mean that's not even a question. That woman with her $85 nails, she's committing fraud. cutting edge. Okay, so basically, oh God. You know what? I was going to make another point, and then I was looking for another video.
If it wasn't for SNAP benefits, I wouldn't be able to feed my children or myself. Employee of the school district, I only get paid once a month. By the time I get my bills paid, I have nothing left to pay for food and other basic needs. If it wasn't for SNAP benefits, I wouldn't be able to feed my children or myself. I work, pay my bills, and like every other mom, I want to be sure that I have enough food to put on the table.
She doesn't look like she's missing any meals. I mean, let's be fair. I'm a big old boy. I put away some groceries. That's fair. I pay for my groceries. Hell, I grow some of them. Oh. You know, Lunchbox, if maybe you'd cut off the Netflix and let's see, how much did you spend on getting your hair dyed purple to Virtue Signal? How about them, Yeah, maybe I bet you if you put down the fatty cakes and turned off your Netflix subscription, you might be able to buy a piece of land and grow a fucking vegetable. Right? I mean, come on, Tons of Fun. You don't need my money. I do. I like my money. I'm a big fan of my money. I think about my money much the same way as I think about my children, right? Right? And you should too. I very much think about my money the same way I think about my children. I made that, and you can't fucking have it. I made it. It's mine. Fuck off. Okay, let's give this one a shot because
entire SNAP.
This one might be hilarious. I mean, one thing I would like to say to a lot of these women: put some damn clothes on.
So all my cousins in Missouri, y'all entire SNAP benefits will be shut down in November. Nobody will qualify for any type of assistance November 1st. Yeah, they claim it's because of the government shutdown, but no matter how it goes, I'm going to tell you why you're going to be able to survive with this shutdown. Okay, so check it. Me, I'm a mom who is very much kept. I didn't want to go to work. Okay, I stayed at home with my kids, 4 children. My husband worked. Okay, so that's a family of 6. We have not had food stamps for over a year. And yes, we pay the rents that you pay too. We have figured out what we had to release in order to gain. Follow me, okay? So if you are
okay, this one's doing it right. I mean, they ended up on food stamps. She said we've been off for over a year, so they obviously ended up on food stamps at some point. But I'll give her this: if they got off, right? If they got off the food stamps, in theory, that's how it's supposed to work. We'll come back to that in just a second.
New to me, if I'm just popping up on your page, hey.
Oh wait, nope. Pit Danny, there's the question. Pit Danny says, so who supports the husband? Isn't that the question, Danny? And the answer to that question is no one. right? In the strict sense of talking about government and the like, no one. Now, let me give you the correct answer to that question. And in all fairness, look, she does. She does, right? So I have had conversations of this sort with a close friend of mine recently about what it means to be at a certain level of operation where your time is worth more than menial tasks, right? Some people, a lot of people who are not wealthy will look at a very wealthy man, a very wealthy household, and they'll say, "Oh man, being a millionaire, being a billionaire must be awesome because you've got maids and you've got cooks, you've got a guy to cut your grass for you, you got this, you got that." Okay, my kids wash dishes. Everybody in this house cooks. We enjoy it. I'm not washing dishes so much. I like to cook. My kids like to cook. One of my daughters is losing her damn mind over making cupcakes all the fucking time, and it's going to kill us all with diabetes, but she's damn good at it, and they're good cupcakes. I cut my own grass. I like cutting my own grass because I got a big old chunk of land. I get to put on a set of headphones, listen to my audiobook, ride around in the yard, drink cold beer. Very, very nice. When you're at the level, though, that you're doing something like a Donald Trump type of thing, where you're up at 3, 4 in the morning and making phone calls, making deals, work. If you're doing the kind of shit where your time is worth thousands of dollars per hour, or in Trump's case, probably per minute, it actually comes to a point where it is irresponsible for you to deal with the individual tasks, right? So you might be a high-powered, hard-working, high-earning, high net worth, wealthy individual, and you like to cook, you like to barbecue, right? So you like to have a family gathering, have all the people over to the big pretty house that you worked your ass off to get your hands on, and you want to man the grill because you enjoy doing that. That's one thing. That's awesome. But if taking 30 minutes to cook and eat a breakfast and then clean it up and put everything away is going to be 30 minutes that you're not making $20,000 in a long day, it doesn't make sense to do that. You pay somebody. If you're going to make $1,000 that hour, then it makes sense to pay somebody $100 an hour to cook, to clean, to whatever, right? And I say that to point this out, right? So she said that she's very much a kept woman. Hey, good on you, honey. Good on you. Made the right choice. 4 kids. I've got 4 kids. Yesterday, I went and did solar surveys in the rain up around Metro Atlanta, made some money. Guess what I wasn't doing? I wasn't home with the kids. I wasn't watching the kids. I wasn't seeing to their education. I wasn't cleaning the house. I wasn't cooking meals, right, for myself and the children, right? I wasn't, I don't know, fixing the refrigerator. I wasn't this. I was working. I was commuting to a job site, completing a contract, making money. The support that a man has, Danny, is a wife. You can't do it alone. In a wild world where the requirement, the thing that your only responsibility is to stay alive, and so you spend all your time hunting and gathering and trying to find a creek you can drink out of without dying of dysentery. That's all you got to do. In a modern world, even a relatively primitive, mere agrarian Agricultural, agrarian society, agrarian society, right? Well, somebody's got to go out and tend the field, as in leave the home, go out and work, so that there is food to put on the table. And somebody else, right? This person's time is too valuable producing the food, the raw food, to also then spend the time preparing the food and dealing with the rest of the household. In a very real sense, the point to the domestic partnership, to a legitimate marriage, one man, one woman, and children. Right? This is where the anti-gay marriage crowd gets it wrong. A marriage is not the union of a man and a woman. It is the partnership between a man and a woman for the primary purpose of producing and rearing progeny. Marriage is not just between a man and a woman. Marriage is two people becoming more than two people on purpose and with a clear understanding ahead of time that part of this partnership includes divvying up the responsibilities of managing a household. So if both parents are going to work, who's managing the household? Who's raising the children? Somebody else is. You're farming out that responsibility, which means that you're not enjoying the benefits of the partnership that you voluntarily entered into with your spouse. So, hey, kudos to this girl. She's doing it right. Now, she said they were on Snap for a while before. Let me deal with that for a minute. The most tolerable argument for the welfare system is we pay taxes to the government and we expect services in return for those taxes. Now, never forget, we pay taxes involuntarily. Even if you want to pay taxes, even if you're the sort of person that just, you want to pay taxes, the fact is that under the system as it exists, you do it involuntarily anyway. You cannot choose to accept coercion. That's why it's coercion. So, we pay that money out involuntarily, at gunpoint, under threat of death. And we don't complain too much, because we do expect the government to perform certain services. Now, the current government performs a lot more services than it should. And yes, I just made that statement in the middle of a government shutdown that has dramatically reduced the services it's providing, in theory. The government as it exists provides far too many services, and it provides the wrong services. Okay? The government as it exists is an entity. Basically, here's how it works. Every time you walk into McDonald's, you pay $100 for your cheeseburger, for a basic bitch cheeseburger, one order of fries, Coca-Cola. Right? And then the 5 people in line behind you get it for free. Forever. And it doesn't matter if inflation goes up, the price stays the same, which means that your dollar becomes less and less valuable over time and spreads out over more and more people and just drinks your taxes away. Sergeant Major says you can pay extra to the IRS, but nobody does. So much for honesty and liberals. Yeah, no shit. Every time you hear one of these Democrats say the rich need to pay their fair share, you need to ask them, hey, if it's your opinion that, like Bernie Sanders has said that it should be 90%. Hey, Bernie, are you writing a check to the IRS for 90% of your income every year? Because if you're not, you could shut the fuck up. Right. Okay. I'm starting to wander and get distracted. I'm going to go ahead and put a pin in it there, guys. It's only Tuesday. Y'all be safe out there. Thanks for watching this morning. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow.